Hey all, we will start just in a second. I will check something. I will be back in 2 minutes. So everything is almost ready. Just one verification and I will start. So today's section is about, it's also on top of the screen, it's about Go and Iris Web Framework. And we will check how we can do how we can add static files and also use templates. This time I want to make sure that if I have anything from live stream, I will be first one to see it, because last time there was issue that I wasn't able to check comments. So now it's streaming on Twitch, Facebook, and I'm checking if it's also working on YouTube. It doesn't yet open for me. I don't know if it's only me or... Okay, so I see everything is okay for now. Again, if anything wrong with the stream, let me know in comments. I am checking comments from each stream, like including Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. there is only one difference now. I have different settings for background sound. If it's too loud, just let me know. I will change it in settings. So as I said, today we will do a bit differently. We will check Iris web framework. So last few streams was only about Echo web framework, and as part of this this project, Go Web Frameworks, actually initial goal was not only Echo but also other frameworks. And in fact, I already have some parts for Iris. For example, I have a CRUD endpoints, paging, and also Docker. This time I want to focus only on one part. So if you check also last streams, for Echo we did some changes. We started using static files. So maybe actually let's switch to the branch. Just like first, let's build into few parts. So first I will check I will just review what we did last time with Echo, and then we can set a goal to do the same for Iris web framework. So first thing I will do, let me check if I have any change. Okay, I have some changes. And I will switch to so this is for Echo for now. Let's not confuse. And next step, I will have another branch for Iris. So I don't have any Visual Studio Code open, so I will open for all repository. So now it will open for all repository. And actually last stream was quite intense, because I had to refactor a lot of code for Echo. Actually, I refactored everything. I introduced different files, so we split server part, like I mean website part, API part, and mainly because I wanted to introduce static files and then like static website. This is how it looks for Echo. So our goal for today is to have also a separate folder, assets folder for Iris, and then serve it from different endpoint. So that's why maybe I will continue work on the same branch, but later we can split them. So this can be Echo static assets, and then we can have another one for Iris. So what I will do, I will open Iris framework separately. So this is this folder here if you want to continue, if you want to follow. And here what I will do, let me close unnecessary things. So here we have setup for Iris. Of course, it's different in terms of like code-wise. It's not one-to-one. For example, like as you can see for Iris framework, I group entities part. So this is like this endpoint is all for entities, and then we have different like post, put, and then get, and all these like other CRUD endpoints. So now my goal, like this is again, right? So as it also says in the start of the session, I will try to do something new which I didn't do before. So that's why we will have some checks on documentation. We will try to follow documentation. I even don't know if they have this part very well documented. but final goal will be, so maybe I can demonstrate final one. I will demonstrate it as for echo. So what we will need to have, if I start echo, and navigate to localhost. So this is what we have on main screen, right? So we have some title, and then we have form. And we can actually submit this form. For now, we don't list all items here. So this is something also, like, it's still open topic for Echo framework, which we will also take a look later in other sessions. But for now, goal is to have exact same or very similar for Iris, like using Iris web framework. So for this, what I will need to do, I will need to check how first I can use static files, and maybe if I can use templates. And maybe I can explain like differences. For example, we can use echo for example. So when we say static files, like it's not necessary like our HTML templates. In Go, you can use a templating engine, and in your HTML you can have some piece of like dynamic code which will come from your Go application. We will also have streams about this. But when I say static file, I mean, like, for example, images, right? It can be also images or any asset that your application needs to operate. So that's why, like, I mean, they have some common parts, but usually if it's template file, template HTML file, you don't expose it directly to internet or local, like local network. So template file is something you use in your application to generate final outcome. So like if you have time, we will also take this, but first we start with the static files. So now what I will do, I will check documentation for a second. So as I can already see, exposing directory is very similar. So only thing I need to do, I need to specify a URL and then set directory which will be used. I'm now checking if I can actually expose not all the directory, only maybe subpart. believe this is, let me see, serving data from context. By the way, I always I also mention this in my website. Iris Web Framework is actually has like a lot of the examples, and actually what I am trying to do, probably there is already like few versions of this. It's done by author of the framework, so I think it's always very nice to check actual like repository. So all examples here, right? So under examples, and as I said, like they have really a lot of examples. Yeah. So so let's go back to the documentation. So first I will try this one, handle directory. So for now, for Iris, we don't have all this refactoring. It's quite straightforward structure. So we have server.co, where we have all set up for routers, and I will add one more. We also have we also use the same variable name for application. And yeah, so we can say, I will try to use the same structure. I will say it is a static. And directory is assets. And we will need to get this directory into our projects folder. So this is our Iris project folder. I will put it here. So we have JavaScript folder, JS folder, pages folder. Yeah, and actually this should be it, right? So they are in the same folder, so we can use also this current directory. And actually, let me try to start this. First, I will need to stop echo because they use the same port. And start it. I will start it from terminal. So Iris. So it started now. Let me check here. Yeah, so entry page for Iris is very simple. We don't have anything. We just say return this string. So final goal is to have like very similar structure in all implementations, including Iris, Echo, and other frameworks. But for now, let's keep it like this. And what I want to see, if I can go to the static JavaScript, and it will be index JavaScript. So if I can see, yeah, so this is exactly what we have for Echo as well, right? So when we go directly to static folder, we get the content of the JavaScript, or we can also do the same for pages, index.html. So this is what we want to put on main page. Yeah, like if you think about this, if you plan to have final application as a like if you want to have Go application serving your website, probably you will not put everything in static files. So you will have some templates, as I said, and also your form will be also served as part of this template. So in a sense, we are doing something very like like, I mean, we can use unrelated because for real world application, probably you won't serve your form under the like static and then accept form in your application. You will do it with templates. But for sake of the like checking how this static files work, I will do this this way. So next thing is what I want to do. I want to serve very specific file when someone hits root, like a homepage of our website. So for this I want to check also, go back and check documentation, and maybe I will also check examples. In Iris, in Echo it was different, because in Echo we could say, we could bind one single file. Oops, like this. So there is no, as I can see, there is no like straightforward way where you can say, like in Iris, I'm talking, where you could say like, hey, I have a file, I want to bind it to the directory, to the like path. But actually, like, I mean, this is only Echo's way, right? So Iris doesn't have to do the same structure. So what I'm thinking now, and actually I was not good or bad, but I was confused that like this file is always by get, like, I mean, it makes sense, we are sending file, right? But having control over like which method you want to use is like, I mean, if you're making it explicitly in my understanding is quite interesting. Like probably like for me it's by default, like you want to get, you want to use get, use get, right? But again, it's just my opinion. And here I think like one way we could actually achieve the same is we bind this path, right, and we return just an HTML. So I also don't know how to do this, so I will check what other options available. So it is context. I want to see all methods of context. Actually, we can also do it here. Pause. Yeah. And essentially, this is a new feature in Visual Studio Code, which I liked a lot. So you can actually like take this only part of the panel and put it on other side. So I can now see all everything in this file in like kind of better organized. So I am interested in context. So let me see. So we are interested in context, right? So write string, where is this? And this is a method this is a type I am looking for. And what we have here, let's see. So we are getting file, but we are getting also, like, I mean, we are not rendering it. Let me see. So file. I'm looking if there is a, already like defined variables for this. Usually it's useful to have, but I guess there is no. So I will set like this. I'm guessing like if yeah, if it is done. Oh no, it's tests. Wait. Can I do like this or no? Okay. So content type is overridden, right? So I guess this method here, it sets content type all automatically. So let's unfold all this. So isn't it same surf file? Surf file is right. Status code. Blah, 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 blah. This another use case for error is directory. Okay, so if it's directory, we get understandable. What's his name? File info. Limits bursts. 8. I'm looking where it's set. By the way, how I can get rid of this? Anyway, so serve is content read, serve content, request, file name, mod type, content. And serve content. Oh, okay. So if we have type, it should set, it shouldn't change it, right? Set type, type by extension. Isn't our extension is HTML? Yes. I will try to debug this. I mean, probably we could just say, just search Google, right, and find easy solution. But what I want to do, I want to just understand like how all this also work. So let me stop it in terminal application and run here so we can debug. So we will debug execution of this, and maybe, oh, maybe this is why it's happening. Maybe we set it here. Let me check this. So if I do this and run, so now it is running. Come on, do we have anything else? No. Working? No. Strange, what's happening? Oh, okay. So let's for now continue and see. Oh yeah, okay. So this was actually easy peasy. So it was actually my mistake that I had right string here, right? So, and I guess it already sets content type to text, so plain text. But yeah, but what we need is HTML, right? So we don't need debug anymore. So we can actually stop. So actually I have now everything I wanted for static files. I can serve single file, which is great. Like, I mean, we can talk about this in a second. So, but we can serve static file. We can also serve whole directory, like assets. And yeah, so next step will be, so maybe we can, so let me elaborate why I think this is cool idea to serve, because like because sometimes you don't want to like expose whole directory just to get to one file, right? So let's say another option I had is, so we can just comment this here and say, so we serve all assets under the root. And yeah, so we will also have to move our index file a little, right? Because we want to serve it under, because now in pages, so we want to say like something like this. And maybe let me try, yeah, I have to start, okay. Okay, start please. Server.go. So in this case, it will automatically pick index.html and problem solved. But why I don't like this? Because now we have also like everything. Let's say we also put templates under this file, just for the sake of example. Then in this case, we would also have like they will be also exposed, right? And this is not always like something you want to do. That's why, like, I mean, when you have controls that you want to expose only very specific file under very specific URL, it's a big advantage. And luckily we have it. So what I will do now, I will take a short break and we will continue with this topic. Okay, so let's continue. So far what we did, we exposed a whole directory, like under static, this time with Iris, and also we have also like root binded with this index.html. What I want to actually do, let's make it exactly same as our echo implementation. So I will I will try to make this form work, right? So now under root we have, let me go back. Actually, let me restart because we had to change this. So now under our root directory, we should have our form. I think it's still loading. Come on, restart. Yeah. I don't need any more this debugging, so we can remove it. And now we now have this, and we need to change this. Actually, it's not echo. Let's change this part here. And I wonder if I change only static file, do I need to reload? So let's delete this one. We don't need this one. And also change in this file index.html and say it's Iris. So let's see. Yeah, so for static file I don't have to reload. Okay, so what I want to do now, I want to make this work, and maybe this time let's do it a bit differently. So instead of using only static HTML, I will start using templates, and let's see how it works in Iris Web Framework. So actually I already saw this part. API, not this one, upload. I want to just quickly check this topic, bind header. What is this? My headers, okay. So we are looking for templates, template rendering. I actually checked this one a few days ago, and like mainly I was interested like what is a templating engine, like which is used for Iris, and it supports, as you can see here, it supports 8 template engines out of box. An excellent golden template engine, so we can also use anything else that we want. Actually, let me see examples. What do we have here? I'm keen to see what is. Oh, okay. I guess this is how you set it. Iris register, Iris Django. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I used to use Django a lot, right? And I find it is templating engine. Yeah, very good. Like, but I probably will stick to this one, HTML template. It's more like Go friendly, let's say. And this is something like you would use by default. So anyway, like, I mean, I think like actually what you select as a templating engine has an impact, because based on this you will have you will define your structure, right? So you will define your HTML, like there will be some changes in your HTML code. But for now we don't. First, let's define structure. So in terms of structure, I will go back and maybe stop application. So now we have assets folder. I will have additional folder which I will call templates, and here we can keep all templates. First I will start with let's say index HTML. Or maybe I'm thinking, like, since we already have index as a static, so let's do it this time a bit differently. At some point we will have to refactor all this, right? So all together. So for now, let's just rename it let's pick any random names. I will say entity form for now. Here I will put the exact same forms that I have. We don't need to bind index.js anymore, but I want to check it though. So let's do this. I want to see if actually our JavaScript binding worked. I forgot to verify this part. So now if I reload, if it works, I will see demo here. Actually it worked, so I can now see it. Okay, so let's continue. We have entity form, we have index.html. Let's action default to the same page. Yeah. So let's put all this here, HTML. Is this correct actually? Yeah, I guess so. Body, height, form. I also will, here I will also skip action part. Actually we can also do this. Format. Okay, and we don't need action because for now at least I don't need action for the form, but I will need to define here. So what I will do, let's see how it's bind with application. So we need to say whether we keep all our templates. We need to set extensions. I like when it's explicit. For example, we can say like we want to put extension as a Go HTML, so we know that we expect Go templating language in our HTML file. And then this is okay. This is very straightforward. So then we say show HTML, blah blah blah. Cool. But again, so as I said, we could already achieve exactly the same by using static files, but there will be like hard limitation. For example, if we want to say, and let's say we submit form and there is something wrong in this form, right? For example, let's say we submit empty, so we submit empty type, and type is, let's say, required. When it's just a static file, it's very hard to send and render this, right? Especially if you render everything from server. If we would use like React, it would be much different. But in our case, we need to, like, there will be some time when we will need to send some additional context. about things which we have in our HTML file. And for this, like using templates is the best option. So first, let's do set our what's the function name? I will set template. Okay, register view. I will just copy this one here. So we bind templates. We keep HTML. This is okay for now. And here we will need to change, and we will say context and view, right? And our view will be entity form. And maybe let's change it even more, right? So we say we keep this root, let it be index HTML, but we change, we introduce another endpoint, another root, which will be same as our file, which will be entity form, and we will return a view from this file, which will be the same name, entity form. Do I need to set HTML? Yeah, okay. HTML. So let's see how this works. So I will go one step forward and do something different. I will set. Let's override this one. So I want to run specific file, which is server. Let's go. So by doing so in Visual Studio Code, like even if I am here, if I hit F5, it should run server.go, right? So not the current file, but server.go. So a difference was, like, let me just show this one. So when you have this, it will run current selected file, but we need always run server.go. And now let's go here and say, so this is our index page, but let's say we have here, it's called entity form. Yeah, so this is our new file. And let's also put some like naming here. Let's say h3 entity form. So and now we can actually play with this form, right? So here we have already some settings. We set field names. And we expect that when on backend part we accept this, we get this, we will map it to the like our structs properties. For example, in our model we have name, type, description, and we expect that they will be automatically set. Actually, for Echo Framework we already put some tags specifically for forms. And now I am keen to see how it works for Iris. I see there was some questions. Again, I missed it. So this time it was on Facebook. So I was expecting some comments on YouTube, but it was on This time it was on Facebook. Okay, so let me try to reply to them, even though it was 40 minutes ago. So I am interacting as a coder vlogger. Nice. Okay, so can we just go like a backend in a mobile application? Sure. Actually, so the question is, you don't see it. The question is if we can use Go like a backend in mobile applications. And actually in Go there is a few backend as a service implementations I will show in a second. And actually I was checking one of them very like intensively. Sure, you can build a backend app and serve HTTP like REST API, and this way find your mobile app with backend app. I will explain more in the video. Check around. So where we are now, we are already like almost 1 hour, right? So it is now. Okay, I don't see time. It's so confusing. Like all these streaming platforms, they have something very different from each other. Okay, I will check on my stream settings. It's 59. It's almost 1 hour. 59:40. 59:40. So I'm explaining this for based on the question which I got in the chat. So question is if you can use Go as a backend for mobile, and as I explained in backend as a service Golang. If you search like something like this, actually like, there is already mostly like different frameworks, like I mean in other languages, right? So you can also use any web frameworks, build REST API, and connect with your mobile. Let me check. I remember I have this bookmarked, but let me check if there is anything else. Oh, okay. No, I don't want this. There was a very popular one which I forgot. It was implemented in Go. Maybe let's use GitHub for this. And I will search backend service. GraphQL backend. Like I mean, to be honest, you don't need Go for this, right? So if you're a Go developer, yes, maybe it makes sense, right? But you can do actually, yeah. So what this is one of them, right? So I say it's implemented in Go. I think I am not familiar with this one. I never saw this one, but I think it says, yeah, backend as a service, GraphQL, JSON API, headless CMS. Let me send this as an example. Okay, good. C thread. Is an example. I need to check if there is a way Okay. Hey Mahmoud, I also see one. I hope when this was. I hope there would be like any one application where you can see all these chats, comments from live stream. I'm now checking actively. If you have anything, I will answer for sure. So I'm checking comments in different chats for the stream. All is fine. Thank you very much for verifying. I will use this chance to see if there is. So the thing is, I was checking Facebook's studio, like, and it doesn't even like show likes or anything like this. So you need to refresh many times to understand like what's happening, if anyone is watching or not. And if you are writing a code, usually you don't go like back and forth, right? So that's why it is a bit confused. I would prefer that everything is on stream, right? Like on Twitch. It looks like better organized. But so far I don't have like a lot of followers on Twitch. It's mainly YouTube and Facebook. That's why I have to like run all this together. So let me see. So let's first see for YouTube what I have for YouTube. If I go to live content, live, view in live control room. So I was in live control room and I missed this message. Why? Share, create highlight, add stream marker, share. I don't want to share, I want to open it separately. Anyway, I will check this later. I will check how I can better control things for stream. I was thinking like, actually I had other laptop, another computer where I was constantly checking. But even with this, it doesn't show. Anyway, so yeah, this was out of question, right? Backend as a service, implemented in Go. Actually, if you check GitHub, there should be few others implemented in Go, and there is a very popular one. I don't know if it's Go or not, but so let's just search backend as service. Without any language, is there? Yeah, no language. And, I hope they have it. Messaging video, no. I don't know if it's super base or something like this. Simple chat, graphic. No. Mobile backend maybe. Oh, so I know about this one. This is also interesting one, and host, but it's not Go, right? I say no, it's not Go. It's a JavaScript, right? Yes. Yeah, there is some Go, but I guess main implementation isn't. And I think they also have hosted versions as well. Yeah, so this one is a very popular one. Let me check what's the language again. JavaScript. And actually, what we can do up, right, versus, yeah, super base. So this is another one, which also can be used as a, yeah, backend as a service, and connect your mobile application. But anyway, I think I will stop here. I know we didn't finish writing this part, but it's already like more than 1 hour. I will continue hopefully tomorrow, like in the next stream, and we can finalize this part as well. For now, thanks for watching. I will check if there is any other comments and reply.